Hi, my name is Pam Doneen and I am following the Nutrisystem diet program. And what I wanted to share with you are some of the items I used for my smart carbs and power fuels. Power fuels and smart carbs are items that you add on to the Nutrisystem foods because they give you boxed breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack. And then per day you add on 3 power fuels, which are 80 to 120 calories with at least 5 grams of protein. And then you add on 1 smart carb, which is 80 to 120 calories and 1 gram of carbohydrate or fiber. So anyway, I thought I would share with you some of my examples because when you're first starting, it's hard to know what you should choose or what's out there. So by sharing these with you, hopefully you can have some takeaways that you would be able to use with your program. And I'm going to call this part 1, Power Fuels and Smart Carbs, because I am continually finding new items. Plus there were a few things I wanted to make that I haven't made yet. So I wanted to make those and so I'll show those to you. So when I gather enough items, I will make a part 2. So anyway, let's get started with part 1. I thought I'd show you what I made for breakfast this morning. This is what I'm having. And what it is this high protein pancake mix. And I mixed it in with half of my smart carb. A banana is a smart carb. And I used half of it in my pancake mix because I love banana pancakes. The other half, I'm going to go ahead and save it for afternoon and mix it in with a Nutri-Crush shake for my afternoon snack. This syrup is only 15 calories for 2 tablespoons. So really, if you wanted to use 4 tablespoons on your pancake, it's only 30 calories. And an extra is 10 to 35 calories, which you get 3 a day. Then I mix together my peppers, onion, and fresh eggs. One of my friends supplies me in fresh chicken eggs, which I love. Aren't they pretty? They're such pretty colors. So anyway, I used my egg and mixed it in with my peppers and onion, and I cut up extra because I'll do this tomorrow as well. I also love this hot sauce on my eggs. I actually like it on a lot of things, but really adds a little zest to things. So I can put that in a link below. So anyway, this is breakfast. What I'm having this afternoon just before dinner for a power fuel is I made a Caesar salad and I put 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese on it, and that is 1 power fuel. And then the dressing I used was not a diet dressing, but it's 1 tablespoon is 70 calories. So I used 2 of my extras for this dressing because an extra is 10 to 35 calories. So this was 2 extras because I only used 1 extra this morning as far as coffee creamer. So this is what I'm having, and I think it looks pretty good. 1/4 cup is kind of a lot of cheese. I wanted to show you what I'm having for a snack this afternoon. I'm having this pita bread, and you can have 2 of these pita breads, and you can use it either as a smart carb or a power fuel, because 2 pita breads is 120 calories, 12 grams of protein, and 4 grams of fiber. So it could be used as a power fuel or a smart carb. And what I did with my pita bread is I cut it along this seam and made 2 out of 1. So it's actually like having 4. So then what I did is I put it in the toaster and toasted it, and it gets it really crunchy. I mean, listen how crunchy that is. And then I used some of this sugar-free jam, the Smucker's, and 1 tablespoon is 10 calories. So I used a tablespoon on each piece of bread because an extra is 10 to 35 calories. So that's 1 extra on just half of my serving of the pita bread. So what I might do with my second one is save it for dinner. And a lot of times what I do with pita bread is I do that cut again where I cut it along the seam to make 2. And then on the broiler, I broil it with 1/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese on it, because then the Parmesan cheese is a power fuel. So anyway, the other thing I'm having with it is vegetable soup. And I made this vegetable soup. I put it in another video, and it's free. I can eat as much of that vegetable soup as I want. So for eating half of a smart carb or power fuel, 1 extra, and a great big bowl of vegetable soup, I mean, that's pretty good. And I have not even eaten lunch yet. I'm going to be full, but this is awesome. A great way to fill up and feel good and enjoy yourself. I thought I would show you what I did with my second pita bread for dinner. I did 1/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese on it, which is a power fuel. But first, under the broiler, I toasted the back side. Then I turned it over and sprinkled the 1/4 of a cup Parmesan cheese over both of those pieces, and then broiled it so it's really crunchy. And I cut on the seam and opened it up to make 2. And then I'm having it with the ravioli formaggio tonight. And I had a green salad, but I already ate my green salad, so that's not in the picture. And anyway, yeah, so this is dinner tonight. Before I share with you the rest of my examples, I wanted to touch on a couple things. One is my Caesar dressing is not light. I've tried the lights, and for me, I just didn't like them. But I would suggest finding, a Caesar light dressing if you like it. For me, I really like that particular dressing, and it's worth 2 extras to me to eat that dressing every once in a while, because I feel like I'm not depriving myself in any way. Second is there are a whole bunch of different kinds of crackers that you can eat. You just check the packages and, pay attention to the calories and the fiber. But I don't choose a lot of crackers. But I was thinking with those pocket breads, since you cut them, how I showed you to cut them, that would be 4 pieces of bread basically. You could put that under the broiler and toast them and make them into chips. And you could use a salsa or hummus to dip them in. And with hummus, it is considered a smart carb for 1/4 of a cup. So you would have to make sure you use those pocket breads as a power fuel on that day if you were going to dip it into hummus. But anyway, I thought I would just share those 2 things with you. And we'll get back to all my other examples. But first, if you could hit the like button if you're enjoying this video, and also subscribe and the notification bell, I would love that. So let's get back to the rest of my examples. A really good smart carb is quinoa. 1/2 cup of cooked quinoa is a smart carb. And what I do is I mix in a whole bunch of cucumbers and grape tomatoes. I cut them up really well and mix those in. But when I measure it out for eating a serving of a smart carb, I don't measure out the cucumbers and the tomatoes in my 1/2 cup. I measure out the quinoa, and then I add in the cucumbers and the grape tomatoes. The dressing I'm going to use is this garden herb vinaigrette. 2 tablespoons is 40 calories. So I will use 1 tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons. And then for my extra, it stays in the range of the 10 to 35 calories for each extra. So this is a really good way to have one of your smart carbs and lots of vegetables. So a great way to get in those vegetables. I just put together my quinoa salad, which is a half a cup of the quinoa, and a half a cup of quinoa is a smart carb. Then with all these fresh tomatoes and cucumbers, it is so good. And I always wait till just before I eat it to put on my dressing, because it soaks it in too much if you put it on too soon. So it is going to be so good. Yum. What I'm having for my afternoon snack is an apple, which is a smart carb, and a tablespoon of almond butter, which is a power fuel. So a tablespoon actually goes a long way on dipping my apples, and I really like the flavor together. My apple is a Fuji, which is a sweeter apple, and that actually is my favorite apple. There's a lot of varieties, but Fujis are one of my very favorite apples. And then the almond butter I just got at Costco. So anyway, I'm gonna go eat this. I thought I would walk you through some smart carbs and power fuels. So we'll start with this. Fiber One protein bar is a power fuel. It's 6 grams of protein, and then it does have 130 calories. So that's 10 calories more than you're supposed to have. So what you could do is count it as a power fuel and 1 extra. So you could use those as a power fuel plus an extra. This pepper jack cheese is 80 calories and 5 grams of protein. So that's another power fuel. This is also a power fuel, the string cheese, 80 calories and 7 grams of protein. Then there's this packet of lunch meat, which probably has a little bit of a higher sodium than would be good for us, but they're so handy and I really like them. So anyway, I do use them. They're only 90 calories and 9 grams of protein. And of course they come in all different varieties, chicken and turkey and etc. Then one of my favorites, and I use this quite often, most days, is the Muscle Milk Light, because it's only 100 calories and 20 grams of protein. So if you're feeling really hungry, that's a good amount of protein to help you out with your hunger. So that's another power fuel. Then of course the yogurt, and I love this Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt. It's only 80 calories and 12 grams of protein, and of course it comes in all different varieties, flavors. Then of course for a smart carb, I don't know, this is a power fuel, I don't know if I said that, power fuel. Smart carb, I usually choose fruit over crackers, but of course you can look on boxes of crackers and choose that as your smart carb if you didn't want to use fruit. And the bananas are getting a little ripe, but that's a great way to use them in your pancakes. Nutrisystem has a pancake that you can make yourself, and I like those because they're a higher protein. Plus, you can put bananas in them, and I love bananas in pancakes. Plus, with them being ripe, you can put them in a shake and blend them in a shake. And what I do a lot with bananas that are getting ripe, I just put them in the freezer. I stick them in a bag and just keep the skins on them and everything. Put them in a bag, put them in the freezer. Then I can have them for smoothies or pancakes. And when I make banana bread, I just pull them out of the freezer and I already have my ripe bananas. And then the last thing I'll show you for this power fuel is the cottage cheese with the fruit in it. And these are 110 calories and 9 grams of protein. So this would be another power fuel, plus you're getting a little bit of fruit. So that's pretty healthy. And so anyway, this is just some of my smart carb power fuels that I wanted to go ahead and show you. I wanted to show you a couple power fuels that I just recently came upon. The first is this Yasso Greek yogurt bars. They taste just like ice cream, and the two that I've tried are the chocolate chip cookie dough and the coffee chocolate chip, and I like both of them a ton. And they are, for one bar, it's 100 calories and 5 grams of protein. So one of these bars would be a power fuel. The next thing that I found that I really like are these Halo Top. They're little miniature sized ice creams. And with these, which is really nice, is you get 2 of them. And 2 of them equals 100 calories. And the really nice thing is that is 14 grams of protein because, oh wait, it's even more. There's 8 in this one and 7 in that one. So that's, if you ate one of each of these, that would be 15 grams of protein. If you ate 2 of these, 16 grams of protein. That's a lot of protein in ice cream, and I thought I'd show you the size. So the Yasso ones, they're kind of like a normal, maybe a tiny bit smaller than an ice cream bar that you would get as a regular. And then these 2 are the Halo Tops, so they're quite a bit smaller, but you get 2 of them, and then it makes it kind of a lot of ice cream that you get to eat, and you can choose 2 different varieties. So anyway, these are both a power fuel, and really, really liking these. In fact, I'm trying not to eat them every day, and my kids are home from college, and I can't keep these things in the house. When anybody goes to the grocery store, I have them pick up more. And a lot of times the grocery stores are out of them. So yeah, these are really good. I hope you found some of my examples helpful and that you could have some takeaways to be able to use. And once I compile more examples, I'll make my part 2 video. And again, if you could hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have an amazing week. I appreciate you.